And the same thing with Dennis Quaid. I can't believe that he said words that I wrote. It's just hard to believe. We just got very lucky. We got very lucky.
Hi, Sean.
Hey, how you doing?
Good, and you?
Very good, thank you.
Thank you so much for your time. It's a pleasure to talk to you. And I'm
Likewise.
very happy to talk to you because I'm from Brazil and I know how much important is Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu for us. And I want to know, when did you when you were first introduced to Jiu-Jitsu? You know what I mean? I was like so amazed with your moves and everything. I was like, whoa.
I was introduced to jiu-jitsu in 93 with the rest of
Wow.
the United States, with UFC 1, November 23rd, 93, I believe it was November 23rd, and Hoist Gracie. And from that day, I wanted to train jiu-jitsu. But that was before the internet, and certainly looking on yellow pages, which I did. I went in the yellow pages and I tried to find a jiu-jitsu. There was nothing around. And it wasn't until I met Rickson Gracie when he closed down his Pico Academy, and he was renting some space at Jerry Banks before he opened up his Barrington Academy. And I was my first introduction to jiu-jitsu, and every crazy story of this martial art holding a sorcery that could never be contested was true on that day. The clouds opened up, the seas parted, and the martial arts truth was there. And I was a martial artist since I was 9. And since that first day, I was completely obsessed. And I really made it a life's mission. And I embraced it with both arms and both legs.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Yeah, my husband, he's also does jiu-jitsu, and my son too. He's 9, so I know, I know
Very
some of the
beautiful.
stuff. Yeah. So, and then I watched the movie with my husband yesterday because I asked him, "This is for sure jiu-jitsu, right? The Brazilian jiu-jitsu," because some movies try to do jiu-jitsu, but it's not. And then he told me, I bet you it is. That's for sure. A real one. I was like, yes.
That's
So
beautiful.
that's amazing. So I would like to know, what was like the inspiration for the script that you wrote with Alex? And like, it's amazing. It's an amazing story. And I want to know the inspiration.
Well, I wrote the script alone in my bed in 2007. The story. I wrote the story alone in my bed in 2007. And I woke up the next day and I flushed out the story from top to bottom. And I called a friend of mine, a producer friend, Paul Alessi, and I sent him the story thinking, this needs to be on the screen. And he called me back. He said, "You're absolutely right. This needs to be on the screen." And it took us 12 years until 2019 to finally find a home for it and get it made. But I wrote it by myself in bed, contemplating all the things that are important in my life in 2007, that long ago. My love for family, kids, fatherhood, martial arts, achievement, adversity, and character and drive, all of those things. It's in 2007. So I wrote it as a brown belt. I wasn't even a black belt at that point. And it was all the things that were important to me at that moment. And it wasn't until 12 years later that we found Forrest Lucas, the owner of Lucas Oil, and his son Morgan Lucas read the script and they believed in it. And they gave us an opportunity to put something on the screen that might have never found a screen before. So I'm very grateful to those guys for reading it and believing in it.
Yeah. No, me too. You can say thank you to them too, because I think it's like is a story. It's real. All the stories that you guys talk about the way that the other martial arts was against, not against. There was like they have like they're not like Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is for faggots. I was like, it's not. It's for everybody. It's for everybody. You know what I mean? Even for girls, for women, it's for
Yeah.
everybody.
Yeah.
And I think, and that's so real. The story is so real, and we are like very excited with everything. What was like the most challenge parts, like to bring that together, like the whole? I know you took some time to find someone to film the movie, but what other challenges you guys had?
You know, I think the biggest challenge, anytime, you know, you write something from the heart, every time an additional person comes on board, they have an opinion. And, you know, with something like this, that is such a microcosm of life, you know, when you have people, you know, I'll give you an example. If somebody says, you know, we need some flashy kick here, and they don't understand that it's a grappling art. It's not it doesn't incorporate flashy kicks. And I understand Hollywood would like to see spinning jump kicks, but that's just not the story that we're telling. You know, so staying true to the jiu-jitsu roots and staying true to the real violent old school jiu-jitsu methodology and concept and philosophy was incredibly important to me. And maintaining the integrity of the family, the core nuclear family story, was crucial to me. And so, you know, you come across, you know, attempted roadblocks occasionally, but you have to stay true to what you believe. And, you know, sometimes convincing people of, you know, the original source material and sticking to it, you know, can be difficult in any artistic endeavor. You know, it's, you know, it's the age old story of, you know, you present a movie and they're saying, okay, I love the script, but can they be in bikinis and can it take place in Hawaii? You're like, you know, so not all stories can be changed like that. And also working within the constraints of a tight budget. You know, we did this on a shoestring budget. We didn't have the opportunity to rehearse days in advance. We had the opportunity to shoot these fight scenes once. So we really put a lot of homework in, thought about how we were going to do it so where we could execute it to the best of our ability and stay within the budget. So, I mean, I could go on and on about the trials and tribulations of filmmaking, but at the end of the day, I've had real jobs before. You know, I've moved furniture before. I changed the deep fat fryer at Church's Fried Chicken before. This is a dream job, and we should be so lucky to be making movies out of stories that we write in our bed 15 years ago. You know, it's I'm very grateful to have ever gotten this film off the ground, and I'm grateful to everybody that helped me along the way. It's a dream of mine, you know.
Yeah, no, it is. And I love the cast, Katrina, Maurice, everybody. I think it was so amazing. And the way that you guys decide to do Maurice characters telling the story looks like an interview, like type of a documentary, but it's not a documentary. I love that style that you guys decided. Why did you guys decide that Maurice and Katrina were like the perfect fit to play the friend and the wife?
You know, we had a dream cast in mind, and it's funny. You set out in search of characters and actors to play roles, and you know, I know being an actor, a lot of times you'll submit a script, and you know, then years later you'll meet that actor and you'll say, "Man, I remember I sent a script," and they go, "What? I didn't even read it." So you never know if they're going to even see the script. And Katrina was top of the list from day one. You know, I didn't even know who Maurice was. I'd never seen Narcos. But once we saw his audition tape and he was on the screen, you can't imagine anybody else playing the role. And I thought Katrina, I think she is one of the most grounded, subtle actresses out there right now. And she's got a certain pathos behind the eyes that is unmatchable. I think we were just very grateful, you know, that these actors were available and loved the script enough to come and join us. And the same thing with Dennis Quaid. I can't believe that he said words that I wrote. It's just hard to believe. We just got very lucky. We got very lucky with the timing and availability. And I don't know, it could have turned out much differently, but I'm glad that it ended up the way it did. And I'm grateful for those high level actors, you know, the best out there. They came to join us on set in a tiny little town in California.
Yeah. And he also brought a high level Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu Renzo to the screen, which is great. We love when we saw him in the end. I was like, oh my God, that's so good.
You know, something about Renzo, you know, my black belt is under the Renzo lineage. And I wrote a book, and when I sent an email out to get blurbs, Renzo is one of the first people to say, send it to me. I'd love to read it. Whenever I wanted to cast this, whenever I wanted him to be a part of this movie, I sent an email, he responded, and he was in town in 2 days. I'll tell you, that man is pure and gold to the core. That man is everything that he teaches and preaches. In his soul, he's one of the best human beings I have ever met. And I'm not saying that because it's on camera. That dude is good to the core. To the core.
Yeah.
And I'm grateful to have him in my life. And I proudly wear a black belt that's under his lineage from my heart.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. The whole family, the Gracie's family, everybody like love them. Everybody like they teach with the heart. We know Rickson here, and I know we know everything. And I think I know what you mean, and I know how much like Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is teaching a lot of like change the lives of a lot of people, you know, and daily, exactly. And like you are very like super talented, super experienced actor, director, producer. You do a lot of stuff, especially acting. Do you have like an advice to give to someone that want to pursue any career, that how to keep up, like to be very positive in this environment?
Are you talking about specifically in the entertainment industry?
Yeah, it doesn't need to be entertainment industry. It can be any industry.
Well, I think at the core, you have to have a desire that's strong enough that won't be denied. You know, I can't tell you how many people give up and quit when they're that close to succeeding. I think tenacity cannot be oversold. I think patience, tenacity, and commitment. And a lot of people don't have that. You know, a lot of people that move out in the entertainment business, they fail because they quit. You know, you know, a lot of people ask me that for acting, and I say it's a very simple formula. Number one, if you want to be a successful actor, number one, be good. What do I mean by that? Have somebody other than your mom and your dad tell you objectively that you're good. Number one. Number two, move. If you want to do film, be in LA. If you want to do theater, go to New York. Number one, if you are good and you are in LA, then you can get as many student films as you want. If you're a good actor and you live in LA, you can get cast in USC Film School projects and AFI, American Film Institute projects, and UCLA over and over again. Here, number four, if you are good and you're in LA and you've done a bunch of student films, then you can cut together a killer demo reel. If you're good and you're in LA and you've done a ton of student films and you have a killer demo reel, then there's no reason you cannot get a great agent. If you're good and you live in LA and you've done a ton of student films and you have a killer demo reel and you have a good agent, you're going to work, period. But it all starts with, you have to be good.
Yeah.
And that's it's subjective and it's objective at the same time. But you have to have somebody other than biased opinions tell you, hey, you have something that's worth marketing in LA. Get on a plane and go. And you got to believe and you got to do it.
Yeah, that's amazing. Wow. Thank you so much for your time. And I want to just say, you all keep going. And I love that you do the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu that changed your life. And muito obrigada. Thank you so much.
It comprehensively changed my life. So thank you very much from the bottom of my heart.
Thank you. Bye.
Take care.
If you like this video, don't forget to comment, to like, and subscribe to our channel right here.